This is an Audio Wool original.
It is Frightday. I'm your host, Byron. We're broadcasting live from our thawed cabin in the woods of Montana. And everybody dies, and that's life. And we hope to go through life affecting folks' mortality as little as possible. Unless, of course...
Extending it?
Extending it.
Okay.
The positive direction, yes. But that doesn't guarantee you won't find yourself carrying the weight of responsibility on your shoulders at some point, whether or not that blame is placed correctly. But does that mean anything? Does anything? We'll talk about that.
Oh.
Motel pools and bowling balls as we review Oz Perkins The Monkey. I'm joined tonight by Kelly.
Hello.
And Sam can't make it because he's full of bees.
He is.
It's kind of fun, right?
He's actually allergic to bees.
Oh, no.
Actually, hornets.
Oh, that's very specific.
It is really specific, yeah.
I didn't know that. I know you're allergic to bees.
Nope, just peanuts.
Okay, just peanuts. Yep.
Although it's funny, Sam always insists to be the one to go deal with hornets' nests, even though I try to.
He's a brave guy.
I'm like, we don't have EpiPens. You're going to fucking die. I think he's just trying to escape, personally.
You think he's ready to leave this world?
I mean, some days when the hornets are there, maybe he sees it as a sign.
It's an opportunity.
Yep. Well,
do
can't argue
that
with
on the
fate.
table. Yeah. This is a live show at live.frightday.com. What is that for?
I mean, those are things I can do when we're live.
I guess. Yeah, I guess you can kind of do whatever you want.
There's so much to talk about. You didn't let me have the soundboard again today.
No.
I noticed that.
It's far away from you.
It's really far from me. Why is it so far from me today?
It's kind of the normal place for it.
I feel like it needs to move back.
Why is it so far away? No, I'm not going to put it near you. Not even close. Live show, like I said, 1-833-374-4489. That's the phone number to call if you want to talk to us. You can always leave a message anytime. Call us when you get the urge, like this person did.
You need to give me a heads up if they're going to be scary.
It's me, guys. Hey, Byron. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Sam. I see you over there making Easter eggs. Y'all, I just went to go see Companion.
Ooh.
And the ish is lit. It is so good. 2-word spoiler. In 10, 9, 8.
Come
Sorry,
on.
dead giveaways. 6, 5, 4, 3,
That's a good
2,
countdown.
1.
I beeped it. I beeped it.
It's so good.
Okay, but you already heard it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Gonna use all the adjectives I hate to use.
What are those?
Smart, clever, witty. It was funny. It was really funny. There was one other person in there who got the humor. It was stupid.
Love it.
It's good. You'll love it.
Yes.
What would I say? 10 Xanax bars.
Cool.
Yeah. 10 out of 10. Loved it. Entertaining. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Oh, love
keep up
you.
the good work.
Thank you.
My favorite podcast ever.
First favorite.
Take care. Bye.
Amazing. Okay, that's really helpful.
Number 1, we are.
I'm number 1.
Don't yell.
Just me.
Okay.
I really appreciate that because I was looking forward to seeing that, and that gives me some hope. Also, there's nothing better
I saw it.
than being the one laughing hysterically in a theater and nobody else seems to get it. That was a little bit of me during Monkey. I was dying laughing.
Okay. No one else.
My husband laughed like because, he's Sam. He laughed like about half as much as I did, but he was really enjoying it.
You want me to
Dead silence from everyone else.
wet blanket this just a little bit?
No, you can yuck my yum. Go ahead.
No, not. Why would I yuck your personal yum? You didn't even see the film.
Oh, you're going to
Yeah,
yuck the companion?
Yeah, I saw it as part of a Scream Unseen at AMC, which is one of those.
I trust our caller.
I gotta turn down your voice. I'm trying to adjust this
I
live.
mean, it sounded perfect to me.
Well, I'm looking at the monitor here. Yeah, so please stop making live noises. I don't like it. The movie's not that good. It's good. It's clever, but I don't know if it's as clever as it thinks it is. It's slick. It looks good. Sophia Thatcher does a great job. And I really do like that Nepo Quaid. I think he's quite charming.
Well, yeah, because apparently his dad's an asshole, and his mom, like, clearly was bullied by a lot of people to have way too much plastic surgery.
Jack
so,
Quaid, yeah.
like, he's clearly the winner.
But I think that there's something about, and I know that it's intentional. I just don't know if I like it so much. The fact that the film is a little bit, it doesn't show a lot of growth and it doesn't show a lot of depth. But I think it's interesting, and I think it's slick, and it is cool, and it is funny. It's surprising, and the thing that they
Don't spoil it.
I'm not gonna. But it's a very cool, interesting trick.
I like tricks.
Is that all I have to say about Companion? Maybe we'll cover it on the show at some point, but maybe not a 10, but not a. I didn't not like it. I thought it was quite fun.
What do you think I'm going to give it? Give me a
Probably
prediction.
10. I don't know. You give everything like a 9 or a 10. So
I was actually filling out my Letterboxd. I'm really digging into that. So many 4.5s and 5s.
A couple good other points about being live here. We've got some folks in the chat. Precious O'Brien says, "Wait, real quick. Where are Kelly's glasses from?"
These glasses?
Yeah. Looking straight.
Okay,
at the
so
camera.
I feel like really. Is it okay to say Target? I feel like it's bad to say Target now.
Right now, but
yeah.
they're vintage
Target. I mean, they're vintage.
They're DEI Target.
Yeah, they are DEI intact Target.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
But ironically, I'm looking for new ones because I really want some bright ones.
What do you mean by bright?
Well, I wear these glasses every day because I stare at a screen all day. And Sam swears that blue light glasses are bullshit. They probably are, but I'll tell you what. I am like susceptible enough to placebo that they work really well for me. They keep me from getting headaches. And I was looking to switch it up a little bit. I really want some fun rainbow ones, but
oh no, you really have entered into like 60-year-old social studies teacher era.
100%.
Yeah,
I don't think that I'm like that cool either.
Dangled things down, like beaded.
Oh no, I would probably do macrame.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep those guys on there.
But no, it's mostly kids are more intimidated by me when I wear glasses because I look smarter and it keeps my headaches away.
Sure.
And then I can do like really serious things. I can go like,
Okay. So
right.
Jesse in the chat also said, "Is it always on Wednesdays? I can never get a lock on when it's coming."
Yeah, that's because I'm a fuck ass. It's not Byron's fault, everybody. It's me.
It is you.
It is me. And so my children just keep doing things. Ugh.
Why do they gotta have activities?
So
I was in activities.
I was supposed to. We were supposed to record last night. My oldest creature, she's in a week. They do this thing locally. It used to be called Premiere Week, where like the local theater comes into the schools
where
and
the qualies would come up against you.
Yeah, the fucking qualies.
Yeah.
Goddamn qualies.
Qualies would steal your role.
No, that's okay. I always upstage them. It's
you
all right.
upstage
Fuck yeah.
a quali?
Fuck yeah. I mean, like, kind of, sort of, maybe.
I don't think that's true.
So anyhow, I did get the main Alice part.
Up against Margaret?
No, it was her sister.
Oh, which quality was that?
I don't know what the fuck is her
The
older
middle
sister's
quality?
name. Yeah, there's another one.
All right, well.
Anyhow, so Creature is in it, and it's like long practices after school every day and trying to thread the needle with scheduling and, So anyhow, it's all my fault,
Yeah,
and I couldn't do it last night. I had to do it tonight. Normally it is on Tuesdays. Our standard is Tuesdays.
We're trying to aim for Tuesdays.
And when it doesn't happen on Tuesday, you can bet 98% odds it was my fault. And I apologize. So you can send me hate mail.
Kelly at Frightday.com. Mm-hmm. Or you can, give us a call, 1-833-374-4489.
Oh, no, I didn't take it as a dig. It should be a dig, though, because, you guys should be able to expect consistency, and it's my fault when you can't. Byron is very conscientious about inconveniencing people. He's better about that than I am.
I appreciate that, but I also think I've moved some records as well. I'm a busy guy myself, but I'm excited. We are in recovery mode. We're in a post-RFK world. How are you feeling about that? I mean, he was dead a while ago, but
he was dead a while ago. But now the pain of his death is being felt through the butterfly effect of his son's confirmation.
We get to focus on that now.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean,
again, I feel like my pineal gland is already decalcifying, and I feel much better. I can see through time and space at the same time.
I'm looking for how many months of SSRIs I can illegally acquire for when he makes them illegal.
Yeah.
From anywhere.
Well, if
we should actually start a thread on Discord about what SSRIs and what doses everybody takes so that we can create a pool if anybody needs them.
A pill pool.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That seems very illegal.
Oh no, it's really illegal, but
I don't know if we should even be talking about
like
that on Twitch.
The whole mantra of our country right now is like they can't do that, but they are.
So why not do the same thing? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like we don't really have any other housekeeping. I was just kind of checking in on you. I know that we're going to get some documents released pretty soon about JFK, RFK, and they're putting a lot of pressure on everyone regarding this Epstein stuff, and I would love to.
I mean, here's the thing about that I don't understand. I have no doubt that there are some heavy-hitting Democrats on that list. I'd be fucking blown away if there aren't some heavy-hitting Republicans on that list. Like, I'd be real surprised if Trump isn't on that list.
I bet I'm on the list.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm not. I don't have to worry about that one.
Well,
yeah, sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
He was my good friend.
He was a good guy.
Yeah.
Do you know that he
Jeff
talked
from finance?
He talked about how Trump was illiterate.
Well, I mean, he kind of is, and
now Davidson,
Pete Davidson, said the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, said he doesn't really read.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of just wings it.
Like,
which kind of tracks. Doesn't read emails. Doesn't read briefings.
Yeah, but Davidson was saying very specifically, not like he chooses not to read, but
seems like as if he cannot.
He is incapable of reading.
Wow. Louder than Crowder. We'll get you on there soon so you can kind of get this all out of your system, Kelly. How's that sound? You seem a bit preoccupied. And on that note, I was
up until 3 o'clock in the morning reading headlines because I had not heard about the event in Coeur d'Alene until midday yesterday.
The dragging out. Let's not talk about it. Instead, let's talk about... I guess let's open up the beaded curtains of our little video store because, of course, oh no... These DVD copies of Harriet the Spy aren't going to put themselves away. It's time for staff picks.
They say so much, but they never tell you if it's any good.
Werewolf movie with P.T.'s mom in it?
I always confuse her with
do you want to go first, or should I? I'm going to start with a film from the 80s, which is not typically an era that I recommend. Not because
it's just not your...
It's just not my place.
Yeah. It's not your rainbow area, yeah.
No, but this film has a special little spot in my heart. It's called Monkey Shines.
I've never seen this.
Once there was a man whose prison was a chair. The man had a monkey. They made the strangest pair.
What kind of experiment was it, Jeff? What did you do to Ella? What did you do to me?
The man was the prisoner. The monkey held the key.
You want to be the boss now, is that it? Stop it!
No matter how he tried, the man couldn't flee. Locked in his prison, terrified and frail.
Jeff, what is it? Jeff, she's here! She's down here!
The monkey gaining power, keeping him in jail.
Ella, no.
Don't do it!
The man tried to keep the monkey from his brain, but every move he made became the monkey's gain.
Did you do that, or did she?
She did it.
That's right. She did it.
The monkey ruled the man. It climbed inside his head. And now, as fate would have it, one of them is dead.
It's like the best writing ever.
Pretty nice little trailer there.
Monkey Shines.
Great.
An experiment in fear.
Look at the typeface there. Monkey
Okay,
Shines.
all jokes aside, that was a great poem.
An experiment in fear.
The poem was great. First of all, the typeface. If you want to see this, go to youtube.com/Frightday. Watch the replay of this in a video format. I like that. You've never seen this film, huh?
No, I mean, I've heard about it a lot, but
we got Alan. He's a quadriplegic, as you heard, after an accident. He he's an athlete as well, so it's just devastating. His friend Gregory, who's conducting experiments with monkeys, offers Alan a well-trained monkey named Ella to keep him company and raise his spirits, maybe even help him out. Who knows? But yeah, initially a healthy bond enables Alan to form a romantic relationship with a woman even. He's become so normalized to his situation that he is opening up his heart a little bit to this woman named Melanie. Ella's kind of a jealous monkey, though, and takes out this frustration on his loved ones. But yeah, due to some experimental treatments from Gregory, we've got ourselves a bright telepathic monkey who also, as you saw in the trailer, knows how to strike matches, understands electricity, is a murderous being and a very jealous caretaker, which is unfortunate. Right? Looks cool. Sounds fun, right?
I prefer cymbals to drums, so yes.
Okay, yeah. So as you saw, there is a monkey chiming cymbals.
Don't you like cymbals, the little ones?
Do I like cymbals?
Yeah, like monkeys with cymbals.
No, I think it's... See, I was actually like a band guy. Like I was
a band person.
Wait, what instrument? Saxophone?
A flute?
Flute, okay.
Of course. Fuck, really?
Well, it's one of the two. You look like a saxophone person.
Really? I could never handle a reed. That requires a lot of skill.
Patience. You gotta wet the reed.
Fuck no.
Yeah. Excuse me. The monkey with the cymbals is one of the reasons that I chose this film, even though it's only used in the trailer and on the theatrical poster. There's no like actual toy monkey in the film, but
it's because it's a monkey.
It's a real monkey. But yeah.
Was there any animal abuse?
Not to my knowledge,
happened
but likely,
in this movie?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
The only thing I recall from watching this is that I chose it as one of the two films, I think this and Dr. Giggles, that I rented for a birthday party in middle school, which was a boy-girl party, which also featured Spin the Bottle.
You guys got to have boy-girl parties in middle school?
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Hey, cool parents.
I got to talk to them.
Talk to my parents?
Yeah, like I want to know what they were thinking.
Let the boys and girls kiss each other, I suppose. I don't know. It's not like it wasn't overnight. Girls had to leave for the overnight.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, yeah.
Feeling better.
I recall the scientist Jeffrey said something that really stuck with me too. So he created this serum that made the monkey telepathic, but he also did this because he developed a drug or was taking a drug that made it so he didn't have to sleep. However, he would die sooner. He just chose to work hours consecutively so he could get more done, quicker, I suppose.
Oh.
Which I thought was a cool concept as a kid.
How cool do you think it is now? I feel like
seems like it's just methamphetamine or some sort of drug.
Yep.
Like that you could probably do.
Yep.
And it would cause you to lose your mind eventually.
And make you think that stuff was happening?
Yes. Well, I mean, Gregory was the scientist, not the quadriplegic. But yeah, either way, Monkey Shines, pretty cool little film. Not typically the stuff that I would enjoy, but a lot of attached memories and kind of a fun theme.
Well, that's awesome. I think the problem, I also went the monkey route. It's challenging because in the 80s...
it was George A. Romero, too. Romero.
I was going to say it was Romero, I hope.
Sorry, not the other guy.
Not Ray Romano?
Ray Romano, yeah.
Did he turn out to be like a...
He's a good guy.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh.
Monkey direction?
Yeah. It's difficult in the 80s because odds are they were treated like shit, maybe killed, but I went the direction of another 1980s movie involving a trained...
You got it.
Not a monkey, it was a chimpanzee.
Okay.
But adjacent.
Sure.
This one's name was Inga. You see, before Jennifer Connelly and her buddy Ludo and Hoggle went up against the evil Goblin King.
Anything about Jennifer Connelly.
To save her brother. In 1986, she made a movie in 1985 called Phenomena, where she played a girl with telekinetic connections to insects,
But they never tell you if it's any
worked
good.
with a chimpanzee.
Why do I think I accidentally...
It's also an Argento movie. The girl had eyebrows ahead of her time.
Well, eyebrow styles come and go. We're back to thin is cool now.
Are we?
Yeah.
Fuck that. Way too much effort.
Whatever was cool in 2000, Kelly, is now cool again, unfortunately.
The wind, yes.
Those are some of my roughest years,
Full.
Byron.
Low rise.
Very particular wind.
No.
Typical of this
Flares,
part of the
low
country.
I knew
rise.
flares were back.
It comes from the Alps.
So there we go. There's
The
Inga.
blasts of warm air cause snow avalanches. While it blows, there are those who say it causes madness.
Swiss Alps.
Beautiful.
Good music.
Why? Was it Goblin?
I think it was
Have
Goblin
you any
King.
idea why they behave like that? Never done this before.
It's probably because of me. I guess they sense the mood I'm in.
See, he's not afraid of you. He won't do that for me.
We got
Ask him to
scientists?
lead you
We got
where the dead
monkeys?
bodies are hidden,
Are we locked in?
and he'll lead you. That fly is your magic wand.
Water
It's
bug.
perfectly normal for insects to be slightly telepathic.
Yeah, it's normal for insects.
What are we doing?
But am I normal?
With insects.
I wish those were bees. Talk about that in a second.
I love you. I love you all.
She's the insect queen.
This trailer's really giving us a little bit of everything.
Tell me this doesn't look great.
I mean,
She even has a dress that looks exactly like from Labyrinth.
looks great, Kelly.
Fun story.
Yes?
Final scene, while they were filming, she had the end of her finger bit off by one of the chimpanzees that they were using for the movie.
Oh, no.
Had to be rushed to the hospital to get her finger sewn back on.
Did it work?
Yeah, it's fine. She was
Okay.
good.
That was the score was Simon Boswell, but also select tracks from Iron Maiden and Motorhead.
Well, there you go.
Kind of cool. Pretty fun. Goblin as well. Uncredited, though.
Well, that's weird. Yeah, I haven't seen this movie in a very long time, but Jennifer Connelly is one of my favorites. I have followed her for eons. She had a very interesting start. This was only like her third role. The only two things she had been in prior to this, she played a role, the younger version of one of the main characters in the movie Once Upon a Time in America, and also was in a music video for a Duran Duran song by the name of Union of the Snake. It was filmed in Sydney, Australia. How and why she came to be in that music video, I do not know. But then she ended up in this, and from this she went on to Labyrinth and, has been in a million things ever since.
Never seen Labyrinth, but also
That's so strange. She's great.
she's made it all the way to the Snowpiercer TV series
She is.
on the USA Network.
She is.
Which is not great, but it's fun.
I don't know. I've actually heard it's really good. I haven't
like
seen it.
6 episodes. It feels like watching like Law and Order, but on the Snowpiercer train. So.
She was also in the female lead in Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, I did like that film,
It was-
actually. That's
A great one. This one also has Donald Pleasance, so some pretty good,
Wow.
between Argento
Yeah,
and Pleasance,
I mean,
it's
we saw
poor
Pleasance.
royalty.
yeah.
So check it out. Check it out. It also has one of Argento's daughters in it, Fiore.
Yeah.
Not
Aja.
Aja.
Yeah. She's in trouble these days.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. What do you think would pair well with this film? Why don't you let us know on social media, reach out and let us know your
this
staff
film?
pick. not talking to.
Oh, I thought you were asking for wine pairings.
No, I'm talking about film pairings, features that would go well with this one. Let us know.
Okay.
Also in the chat, iPod Jackson ran out of work to see the stream. Welcome. Hope you're still well. Hope everything's going okay inside with you out. Should be working. However, we're also important. And,
yes, of course.
Grump1 Pumpkin with a 1 said, would have guessed flute for Kelly. Good guess, I guess.
Yeah, see?
I mean, I guess you look like a flute person, but
I am not. I really am pretty.
Not a woodwind person.
I mean, I am I'm pretty transparent about who I am. I think I'm pretty easy to.
Well, what was I? I did all 4 years in high school.
Trumpet, probably.
Yeah, trumpet, exactly.
Yeah. Fucking obnoxious and.
I was second chair the whole time because I didn't want to be first chair. It's kind of how I.
Very deliberately crafted spot as second, I believe.
I do that in most things, other than the things I care the most about, which is pretty like the show or the other projects I have where I'm the one making all the decisions. I just am not good working with other people, I guess. Right, Kelly?
I think that you're great working with other people. I think sometimes you just doubt being in the spotlight, Byron.
I got us a new sponsor that we're locking in, by the way. Just a little tease.
What is it?
We're familiar with it.
Oh, God.
Round 2. We're giving it one more shot.
Wait, we're going to do those fucking awful...
But yes.
They made you sick.
Okay, before we lock up...
They literally made you ill. Okay, I've given you a list, Byron. I've given you a list.
Of what?
Products that I would like to get for free.
Great. It's time to discuss.
I'm happy to promote.
Death and sardonic violence. As we review Oz Perkins The Monkey.
Hope you're enjoying your visit here this evening. Now, on with the show.
The Monkey is a 2025 American dark comedy horror film written and directed by Oz Perkins. I said Porkins.
Porkins.
Oh, pardon me. When twin brothers find a mysterious wind-up monkey, a series of outrageous deaths tear their family apart. 25 years later, the monkey begins a new killing spree, forcing the estranged siblings to confront the cursed toy. This, of course, is based on the Stephen King short story of the same name. Originally, Frank Darabont was... You look like you know the name. He was the writer of The Green Mile, Shawshank Redemption, The Mist, and 177 episodes of The Walking Dead. He had the film rights for this one of...
Oh, sorry, the writer of the screenplays for all of those, because the first ones you listed were all Stephen King stories.
Yeah, they are, but no, he was a writer. Frank Darabont.
He wrote the screenplay for them.
Yeah, he was the
writer.
Just
making sure.
I guess. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes,
He didn't write those.
He wrote the screenplay.
He wrote the adapted screenplay. Yes, yeah. Okay.
He held the rights to The Monkey and planned to adapt it after completing The Mist in 2007, but the project fell through because he had made everyone too depressed with the ending of The Mist. That's not true. It just didn't happen.
Also, according to Osgood, the script fucking sucked.
Was it bad?
Yeah, Osgood said the script took itself way too seriously and was awful.
Well, some people might have problems with the way Osgood took it.
He actually was much nicer than that about it, but that was the upshot.
I would imagine he was. Years later, 2023, Black Bear Pictures, who were the folks behind films like Knock Knock, The Rental, Immaculate, a handful of other non-genre films that I'm not going to talk about, they announced the development of a film adaptation at Cannes. Osgood Perkins, who we don't really need to talk about his bio. We just did that during the Long Legs episode too long ago. I mean, do you have any notes to throw in?
I would like to
this
throw
like
this in.
the fourth time we talked about him.
I love the man.
Yep.
He has an incredibly tragic background.
Which we'll talk about in a minute, actually.
And he also is very open discussing the role that his own relationship with his father played in this movie.
Yes. Well, we're talking about his bio, about filmmaking here.
Yeah, I know, but
he was hired to write and direct it.
Yeah, they asked him to come in, basically, please take a look.
Save
what do you
this
think?
film.
And he had Stephen King's blessing. Stephen King really liked him.
King actually loved the film, too.
Yeah.
It was so sad. There was a picture King posted. Oh, it's not sad. It's fine. On Twitter or Instagram of Stephen King going out to see a screening of it. And he had his, he uses, those walking...
Yeah, he's got to be, what, 80?
Pretty old, and also he got hit by a minivan, 20 years ago.
Who fucking hit Stephen King with a minivan?
I don't know. He's, kind of a cursed guy. Finally came back at him. But yeah, Osgood. Also, James Wan is going to produce this under Atomic Monster, which we did a whole behind the screams about Atomic Monster, the production company, so you can go check that out. And Theo James was cast in the lead role, which... Not a fresh face, but also I haven't seen him in anything. I don't know.
You did not. So you're like the only person who didn't watch The Gentleman, I think.
Seems like it. I don't know what that is. Apparently
it was a Guy Ritchie TV show.
Huh.
It was really, really fun. You'd actually love it. It's very funny.
Guy Ritchie, he never really was my thing.
It was mainstream enough. It was less accenty, mainstream enough.
Well, do you think I would want it to be the indie Guy Ritchie or the mainstream Guy Ritchie?
Well, I think mainstream, and probably the way that it was less accessible to you is, it's less extreme as what Guy Ritchie became known for. It's slightly more matured. It's everybody I know who saw it thought it was a riot. It was very, very fun.
Yeah.
It's good.
But Theo also in some Underworld spinoffs and the Divergent series.
Yeah, let's not, let's maybe lean into the stuff that's good, that poor man.
Maybe those
White
movies.
Lotus. Didn't you watch White Lotus?
I haven't, and I would love to, but now they're 3 seasons deep, and I feel like I can't
but
catch up.
No, you can watch them independently. They're
I have a whole season of Yellow Jackets to catch up on. I don't know if I have time for White Lotus.
Well, I recommend all of them. If you're going to catch up on Theo James, I would focus on White Lotus and Gentleman.
The Monkey, though, principal photography took place in Vancouver, February 5th to 23rd, March 23rd.
Ooh.
So it's a bit of 2023. And yeah, like we kind of alluded to, Perkins made several changes to the original story, including replacing the cymbal-banging monkey, which you saw a few minutes ago during the trailer for Monkey Shines. That was the original. That's what Stephen King had in mind. Story. Yeah. Replaced it because they were worried about getting sued by Disney, and I don't know why Disney would have the rights to that. Maybe it's something else, but
there's the monkey in Aladdin. I don't know if he had any symbols, but
I don't know.
Abu.
Yeah, it was a good monkey.
It was a good monkey.
One of the best. But they replaced it with a drum playing one, which I think was a great choice. We'll get into that as well later as we talk about just exactly how this monkey functions. But Oz also chose to incorporate comedic elements and extreme gore to address themes of death and absurdity.
Hilariously absurd.
Absolute hoot. He describes the film as more Chuck Jones than Final Destination, even though a lot of people compared this to Final Destination. I don't know if I would.
I heard part of an interview where Oz was saying, I hope everybody enjoys Final Destination. He was being very tongue-in-cheek about it. But
sure,
to me,
I like Final Destination.
This felt much more intelligent, self-aware.
Sure, yeah. Intentionally comedic.
Yeah.
emphasizing the impossibility of the death scenes, he says, quote, "Nothing in The Monkey is really a threat. Swimming pools and electricity don't operate like that," which is one of the things about this that elevates it.
The swimming pool is my favorite.
It's one of the best kills in this. It's been a week and a half, so I have lost some of the kills because you know how my brain works.
Fair.
I tend to dump a lot. But you just saw this
yesterday,
so you might have a couple of your favorite kills that might jog my memory as well.
He said the same thing in an interview I heard, Byron. It was even more, he went even a step further and said, this isn't a movie that is risking triggering somebody's like personal trauma where, a friend or my dad died this way, because they're all so fucking ridiculous.
My mom got her face lit on fire.
Right. And then like stabbed herself into a for sale sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's so good. So good.
I've never done hibachi.
Me neither.
I don't know if I'm gonna.
I don't know that I will either.
I likely will, but cited influences such as American Werewolf in London, Gremlins, and Death Becomes Her, which is a film that I that was what came to mind for me. Mm-hmm. But it's also been a long time since I've seen that film, so I wasn't sure if I could accurately attach the vibes, but it seems like I'm right.
1950s music. Sam Cooke was a huge inspiration.
Sure.
The music in it was it kind of reminded me of like the music in Stand By Me. Or the music in the original It, which is
all Stephen King stuff. So.
Yeah, but a lot of Stephen King's original writing took place during these time areas, like during the 50s or the 60s. And so even though the childhood part of this is set in the late 90s, early 2000s, it's still got music to go along with it that matches Stephen King's writing. And Perkins was very specific about this being like fully Stephen King's The Monkey.
Yeah.
Like he was really made a big deal out of that.
Even though, I mean, conceptually it's different and the writing is obviously different as well.
Yes.
Because it wasn't a comedy. But in tone, like this feels more closely related to like Maximum Overdrive than it does a lot of the other, King pieces.
And I think King was one of the first serious horror to find some weird moments of comedy in some of the really scary things that he wrote. And this just leaned really heavily into that element of King's writing.
Totally.
I feel like.
Yeah, and I think the cool thing about this in general is like, first of all, I should say that people are being really annoying about this film. We talked
fuck you, people.
A little bit of who are you talking to? Our
Whoever's
listeners
being
are all
annoying.
correct, and
whoever's being annoying about it.
Going to agree with us.
I mean, how many things do you and Sam and I all agree on? Sam loved this.
Very few.
I loved this. You loved
hated
this
film. I think it was the worst.
No, he didn't. He loved it. Everybody.
Oz Perkins. One of the things I've consistently said about his work is he has such a good grip. He's got such wonderful control over his films. Like everything is intentional. All of his shots are like, there's no like tone, like intentional tonal or pacing missteps in anything he does. Like, I think he's a genius.
I think he's so good.
For him to go from Long Legs, which another kind of, this is so, because people had similar issues with Long Legs. People thought that it was not as scary as like the commercial made it.
Right.
But I think everything's falling victim to this, everyone's online, everyone has an opinion.
Well, don't go on with expectations. Yeah.
Exactly.
Stop fucking yourself over, people. Go in and keep yourself open to the experience.
Enjoy it for what it is, not what you think it is.
Yep.
Or what you think it's gonna be.
You and I talked about this a little bit, Byron, but I think the fact that he could create such a creepy film as Long Legs, which was done so well, and the tone was very different and the cinematography was very different, and then moved to this movie, which feels like a completely different everything, but is still, I thought, and really, really well done. I enjoyed both of them thoroughly. Sam sits, even though he's not sitting at one of these mics, he watches almost everything that we watch for the show.
And he's technically still a third, according to our LLC agreement.
Right, which is, we
got to kick him out.
We do need to kick him out. Or he needs to,
show up,
show up,
which
one
he
or the
will
other.
Be attending Contacted the Desert.
He will be.
In the desert.
In the desert.
Again, you can, I incorrectly stated the promo code last time. It is Fright10, not Frightday 10. So if you want to go hang out in the desert and, learn about paranormal stuff, UFOs, high strangeness.
Fright 10, everyone. Fright 10.
Yeah, go check that out.
Well, by the way, Sam's really struggling looking through the guest list of okay, this person would be really fun to talk to. This person is a borderline white supremacist psycho.
Yeah.
We can't go near
I'll
them.
talk to him.
He's really being intentional about that. But this and Longlegs were his favorite two movies that we've watched last year and this year.
It's funny. I mean,
so I don't know.
You don't?
People get their own opinion, I suppose, but I can't imagine having a sense of humor and not thinking this movie's hilarious.
Well, I don't know if you've seen the... I don't need to pull up other people's reviews on our review podcast, but...
I saw the Vulture review about not having a soul.
No soul, they said, yeah, but I was looking at just the Google reviews of it.
Oh, it was 6 point something, maybe?
No, it was hanging around a 2 average or something.
Oh, 2.7 out of 4 stars or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never look at those.
Because that is the knee-jerk reaction of people who are online, I think that's where a lot of those issues happen. And yeah, we don't, let's get into our actual breakdown of the film. But
yep. Break it down.
I'm sick of people, again, you heard us say it, we're stepping off the soapbox. Relax and enjoy films.
Just enjoy it. Especially
because,
Theo James. He's very pretty.
Of course, everyone dies, and that's life. So on that theme, Osgood said, what if you could do this with a smile? Process the fact that everyone dies? What an insane, surrealist notion, dude. You will die, we'll all die. That shit's crazy. Pardon me, that's crazy shit. To do that as a comedy felt very apropos.
So just, again, a little bit reminder context. His dad was a closeted homosexual who died of AIDS.
In 1992.
And his mom died in 9/11.
It's complications related to AIDS. Yeah.
Okay. I'm so sorry. His father...
I'm not editing it, so you don't need to restate
Well,
it.
his father, obviously, there was a lot of tragedy involving the time that he grew up in and the situation that Oz experienced as a result.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't speak disparagingly of his father, but even in interviews for this, that his father couldn't be there for him in the way that he wished he could have.
Well, imagine.
And so there's a lot of
that
that
attached to being a closeted homosexual and having a kid. Even
being a parent is the hardest fucking thing in the world. Well, in my opinion, from what I've experienced, it's the hardest fucking thing. And to imagine having all of those layers, I can't anyhow. And then his mother literally died in 9/11 attacks.
Well, yeah,
was on one of the planes.
American Airlines Flight 11 crashed into the World Trade Center. Yeah.
So when you talk about crazy deaths, right? His mother died in a wildly...
Talking about lightning strikes?
Makes a lightning strike look
a lightning
the most common thing ever.
A lightning bolt.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so
that didn't make any
for
sense.
him to approach death in this way through this movie, I thought...
I got called a soy.
Are you a soy?
I guess I'm a soy.
It's okay. You be a soy. I'm a soy.
Stop yelling.
Wait, what's the bad? Because it's probably okay for girls to be soys, right? What's the really derogatory term for soy boy, but it's a girl? What is it?
I just pinned it. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Yeah, boot him. Jesus, what are you thinking? Thanks, Alicia, our moderator in the chat.
I love you, Alicia.
Also, I pinned it. I don't really care.
You are a soy.
I'm not a soy.
No, you actually don't eat soy at all.
Has nothing to do with it.
I know, but it's funny because that's what it comes from.
Great. So in the past, he's mentioned that his horror films serve as a form of indirect
processing,
autobiography. Pardon me.
Yeah, he writes what he knows.
With his film, I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House, which I still haven't seen. That was dedicated to his father, and Longlegs being described as being about his mother, which is kind of interesting. Even though it feels like this is kind of also about his mother. Or maybe his brother, or maybe just like the concept of family. Maybe his father too. Just family in general, I think. There's a lot in this.
Well, the relationship between our hero, Hal, and his son, Petey, is really central, obviously, in addition to the absence of a father that Hal had growing up. So that juxtaposition.
Because, of course, in 1999, a pilot, Petey Shelburne, attempt to return a monkey after trying to destroy it. It apparently wasn't working. Adam Scott, a little cold open.
Which is great. Anybody watching Severance, I'm sure everybody else is watching Severance right now. Kind of except for Byron. Everybody else is watching it.
But yeah, he thinks it's responsible for numerous deaths. And we get a kind of a bloody cold open, which is exciting, fun, and really sets the tone. But yeah, he disappears.
Dennis is right.
And leaves his wife, Lois, to raise their twin sons, Hal and Bill, all by herself.
She's justifiably angry about that, too.
Yeah, rightfully so. I mean, even though it seems like he left maybe to protect his family, I'm not 100% sure. We don't really get a lot of clarity in that.
I kind of like that they just didn't put a bunch of energy into that because...
It's not about him.
Yep.
It's kind of cool.
Yep.
So, as children, Hal and Bill discovered the monkey in their father's closet. They wind the key and unknowingly activate its curse. And this leads to... they have a great babysitter. Had a great babysitter because she takes them to a hibachi grill.
I love Bill. I was going to marry her.
Bill, fairly dumb and charming as a child.
I would say just dumb. I don't think he was particularly charming. He was a dickhead.
Yeah, I guess he was always a bit of a dickhead. The babysitter... I don't even know how this happened. Got her fucking head chopped off with a big sharp knife.
Well, it was because of the monkey.
Well, yeah, but I mean, how did they determine that to be an accident? You know.
Well, clearly, that poor chef didn't mean to. He was just doing his tricks.
Yeah, but he cut her head off. At least like negligent homicide. Or
I don't know.
Manslaughter.
I mean, he'd probably done it a million times before. The monkey just like pulled it out further into the circumference that he was throwing from, I guess. I don't know.
I think that's kind of the cool thing about this film is it doesn't always make sense. And also, it truly doesn't because like the pastor overseeing the funeral is like, what the fuck?
Right. No, totally. And I love the idea that there are things in it that remind me of the perspective of being a kid and being like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. Why is this going on? But you just go with it because you assume it's something that makes sense to the world and you just aren't there yet to understand it. So you just roll because there are so many things like that. There were moments in this that felt exactly like that to me.
Yeah. In a way, I feel like the monkey's influence that causes the death goes beyond that to almost like normalize the death, right? Like, that's never explicitly stated, but like when we're living the world of the monkey, like these awful things happen seemingly for no reason and everything continues beyond that, like with no real recognition of it.
Yeah.
Which it goes back to the theme that, everyone dies and that's life.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
It's tricky. Got no dad, got this monkey, no babysitter, but Hal, who's jealous of Bill's relationship with their mother because, they're kind of scratching for any sort of stability or affection in their life, I guess. Well, and because Hal's being bullied by Bill and a bunch of other people for no real reason, right? Did he get, what was all over his head?
Bill?
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't Bill, it was Hal.
Oh, sorry.
He got...
So Bill was bullying Hal, Bill and his friends.
Yeah, and it was Bananas.
Duh.
Because he loved the monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So deliberately winds the toy monkey again, hoping it will kill or harm Bill. They don't really know exactly what's going on here. But instead, sadly, the mom, Lois, has a sudden fatal aneurysm. A balloon aneurysm?
Boomerang,
thank you.
Aneurysm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I should know more
What was it? 1 in 40 million odds or something like that. Insane.
Wild scene. Blood kind of pouring out of her head and eyes, and that happens a little bit out, but yeah, a little bit further down the road. But yeah, this creates a further digs a deeper rift, digs a trench. There is a deeper rift,
yes,
between the brothers.
something along those lines.
And Hal, because he's a good guy, feels a lot of guilt about this. You know, he was trying to harm his brother and killed his mother. What do you think happened in Osgood's life that is something that he's pulling into this film? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I think anytime something that, I mean, I don't know that he was doing this, but like the absurd odds against what happened to the mother in this movie happening to her seem fairly similar mathematically to the odds against what happened to his mother happening.
Yeah.
And when something like that occurs, I would imagine there are a lot of questions you ask about, you know, like
why?
Yeah. Like trying to make some greater order out of such ridiculously random, like shouldn't ever happen level tragedy.
Yeah, following the death, the orphan brothers moved to Maine to live with Aunt Ida and Uncle Chip.
Which is Osgood Perkins.
Yeah, Osgood Perkins, big sideburns, aviator glasses. He's a fun character. And we forget that he's an actor first. Remember, he was in
Legally Blonde.
And was that? Yeah, that was it, right?
I love his role in Legally Blonde. Like, just ties everything up perfectly.
Films, of course.
No, he has done. He's done quite a few other movies. But that's where I originally found him.
Fell in love with him
personally.
Yeah. Moved to Maine. Before they left, they chopped up. Well, not Hal did. Chopped up the monkey, discovering that it had a bit of
weird blood in it.
He doesn't. He's unfazed. Doesn't stop. Cuts up the monkey with a.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then they go off. They arrive. Unfortunately, they find the monkey. Followed them there, appearing undamaged. And yeah, that's the powers of the monkey are becoming more clear. And Bill, now understanding this, decides to test it. He winds it up, and this results in their Uncle Chip's death. I believe this is during a hunting trip.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a regular. I'm trying to remember. It wasn't a regular hunting death. He was trampled to death by.
That's right.
1,000 wild horses or something, and the remains. The coroner said looked like somebody had drop kicked a cherry pie.
Yeah. This is like the delightful stuff of this film. It's like it is one of the. I mean, practically the goriest thing I've seen. I don't know, since Psycho Gorman, probably. Like,
yeah,
it's delightful in its grotesque elements, but it never feels scary. Like Osgood said, it's not that kind of film.
Okay.
But speaking of being scared, Hal is freaked out by this, and the boys together decide to lock the monkey in a box and throw it down a well. Hoping to contain the evil influence, but they think this is it. And for 25 years, it is, kind of. Hal is now, we flash forward, we've got ourselves the very hunky Theo James.
He's like absurdly good looking. One of my favorite quotes from him is like he said something along the lines of like, I realize that a lot of times I will get a role because of how I look. Which makes it even more important to me that I can keep it because of how I act.
Because he
knows
himself to be a fool.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and so he really wants to do well. And I am a judgmental biznatch in recovery, and I often will judge both good-looking males and good-looking females as having very little talent outside of that.
Yeah. But who's been testing it is Alexander Skarsgård.
Skarsgård,
he had that
Tom
role
Hardy.
where he was like bald, and then he had the Infinity Pool where his character is just so visibly uncomfortable and
all the time
not confident.
Which
is kind of cool.
It is cool.
But it sucks that he gets to do like stolen valor, basically, of like ugly guy stolen valor.
Yeah. I mean, it's the way that it's the way that it is. But I think Theo James also in this, I mean, played the grown-up version of like a geeky little kid.
Does it so well, too.
The grown-up version of like an emotionally deranged man with a mullet.
As he is both characters, the twins. Yeah. So Hal is living kind of a difficult life. He's working in a grocery store. He's a checkout guy under a younger vaping manager, and he's estranged from both his brother Bill and his own son Petey.
Estranged from Petey because the monkey Juju follows him everywhere.
He's worried that he
doesn't want to hurt his kid.
And we don't get much about what his relationship with his kid's mother was.
Doesn't seem positive.
But I kind of like that we aren't filled in with every detail.
It's like, who gives a shit?
It's like the Adam Scott father. We don't need to know.
Get a nugget. Yeah. Roll on. You keep talking. I got to go get water.
Okay, go get some water.
I'm dying.
No, you're fine. So, yeah, Hal, 25 years later, checkout guy. You got to take out those earbuds. That's why it's hard, huh? It's tricky. The brother's Aunt Ida suddenly dies, and violently, when the monkey, having escaped the well, is triggered again. This is a wonderful scene as she is ascending a staircase. The staircase collapses, and she falls face first into a box of lures, and they find themselves embedded in her face. That's not all, though. She is pulling them out, sterilizing them in the sink when her face also lights on fire, and she, with her entire head on fire, runs out the front door, down the steps, and is impaled by and through her eye on the for sale sign of the house where Hal and Bill and their mother lived, which was for sale because Ida, at some point after losing Chip, she was trying to get her life together and was taking care of the, I guess, the estate of her.
Yeah, although this was like, however, I don't know, had to be 20 years
25 years at
after
least.
Chip died.
Yeah.
She took her time getting that shit together.
Kinda, and I mean, that was a nice house.
I guess.
Probably a pretty good house. But wonderful scene. There's something about someone's head being fully engulfed in flames. I'm like fully A24'd at this point where like that does it for me every time. Thanks a lot.
Hey, that works.
But this all forces Hal to confront his past and the monkey's ongoing influence. This is your typical story circle call to action hero's journey. It takes place relatively deep into the film, but I kind of like it.
Well, and Hal is roped into it kind of by his brother, who gets him on the phone and is like, no, you have to go back and deal with this. And he's like, what the fuck? This is like the 1 week I get with my kid. No. And he basically hangs up on him and bullies him into going.
Well, but that doesn't happen until he already picks up his kid, does it?
Correct.
Yeah.
He's picked up his kid before any of that.
Well, we certainly can't skip over that because that is one of the oddest interactions in this film. We've got the former partner. Hal is going to go spend, I think he gets 1 day a year. And this is his choice. He decided, I'm going to spend 1 day a year with my son, Petey, because that is the only way to guarantee that he'll be safe. And it's still a risk because, 1 out of 365 days, the monkey could happen on that day.
You never know.
You never know. Not much to say about his former partner, but I will say a bit about her new husband, a religious self-help guy played by Elijah Wood.
Speaking of Yellow Jackets.
Wait, what? I'm only on season 1 and 2 episodes into season 2. So
you haven't gotten to Elijah Wood yet?
I guess not. I don't know.
Holy shit.
I'll watch at least one after this. How's that sound?
You need to watch until you get to Elijah Wood.
Oh my god.
It's worth it. Stay up all night.
Sounds like a long night. But Elijah, I guess he feels his parenthood energy on the couch by holding hands in between his former Hal's former partner and Hal himself, and somehow believes to have taken the power of fatherhood.
I took your power. I took your power
from Hal, and they've decided that because of Hal's hesitance to participate in the life of his son, that he will no longer be his father in 10 days.
Period.
Which doesn't this feel like almost in concept? It feels like Wes Anderson-y in a weird way. And it
felt a little lynchy.
Well, it's like elevated and kind of like
like comedically just weird as shit.
And yeah, outside of what we would consider reality as it is. But it's funny because it's like a meshing of the two, like, which makes it a little disorienting, but also a lot of fun. Because why? I mean, what? I don't know the law. I assume that you can't just be like, you're not the father in 10 days. Like,
right. Just absurd.
I mean, you could easily have done like the Santa Claus didn't like. The kid got adopted by his mom's like new boyfriend or something, and the Santa Claus,
who was also a hilarious, like, over the top therapist person.
Sure, and that was kind of a trope in the 90s. Was like new dad is always well put together, rich, and like kind of handsome.
In this case, wearing like cycling gear.
Yeah,
inexplicably.
Yeah, well, either way, he's got 10 days with Petey, and they decide
the mom did. Just for the record, she played J. Allen Hynek's wife in the TV show Project Blue Book.
Oh, I don't know anything about her. What's her name?
Laura Mennel. Nobody knows who she is. That's what's important about her. Great. She played J. Allen Hynek's wife.
10 days with Petey. They are going to go to a horror-themed amusement park. And on the way, they stop at a motel. And there, while on a phone call reconnecting with the estranged brother Bill, like we mentioned a second ago, a woman is horrifically electrocuted in the pool, which is clearly due to the monkey's influence. And the exploding body...
Electrocuted.
Well, I mean, that's how
she was exploded.
Yeah, and a big, thick leg flew out of the... Yeah, didn't even make it into the water before her body exploded.
Amazing.
Very cool way, yeah.
Was that a leg?
Why was... Okay, you don't like gore.
Because it was fucking hilarious.
Is that what the difference is?
I mean, it's kind of like The Boys.
Okay.
The gore in The Boys.
It is very similar. Yeah.
Love it because it's just hilarity.
It's just, I mean, guts and blood. Yeah.
Gore doesn't scare me. So when it's intended to be part of like a scary part of a movie, it does nothing for me. When it's like this and it's just, to me, I feel like I'm making fun of people who get scared by gore and slashers, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Because, I mean, there's no real tension in this that would make it so this would be scary stuff.
Right.
It just happens.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Hal and Bill at this point agree to work together to stop the monkey, and they postpone this little trip to the amusement park, and they decide to investigate returning to the home where everything started. And thanks to the real estate agent, they uncover a trail of bizarre and unexplained deaths in this hometown. And I don't know if we need to go much further than that, unless I don't want to spoil it. Big standout moments that you enjoyed.
I really liked the tone of the father-son relationship between Petey and Hal, because it was touching without being over the top. We didn't get
Hal's kind of a prick.
I think Hal's, I agree.
Protecting his son, though.
And he's just kind of like a fucking idiot, doesn't know what he's doing as a dad because he's screwed up. But I think there were some very poignant little bits of conversation. I thought that Petey was a fun character. And
do we know anything about that guy?
I just remember when I first saw his face in the movie, I was like, what the like, he looked really weird in the scene that takes place at their home, at specifically Elisha Wood's home.
Sure.
And then as
Colin O'Brien is his name. He was young Willy Wonka in Wonka.
Yeah, like old Wonka.
Young Willy Wonka in the 2023 Wonka.
Oh, in the Chalamet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
10 episodes of Dear Edward. He was Edward in that, but other than that, I don't see.
Didn't watch Dear Edward.
Wow.
But I thought he did a great job, and I liked the interactions he had with his dad. Felt very authentic, teenage-wise.
Yeah, it was a different kind of deadpan, because Hal's like, something's weird about Hal.
Yeah, he's a fucking weirdo.
Traumatized.
Very traumatized, and obviously like pretty reclusive. Doesn't probably have friends or a social life or...
Well, because everything involving another relationship would be added anxiety. So what he's done is kind of walled himself off from responsibility to other people because he's afraid that he will kill them.
Right. That is out of responsibility. He thinks the best thing he can do is not
simplifies
connect
his
with
life.
Them. Yeah.
But his son, Petey, is a different kind of deadpan, which somehow it really works well together.
Yeah.
Super interesting.
I agree. There is a really weird set of scenes with one of the other families in town who seems to have almost like a parallel trajectory of these two brothers whose dad has left. Dad was a police officer and he abandoned, and the mom is, a maybe more damaged, tragic version of what Hal and Bill experienced growing up with their mom. And these two brothers, one of them is like, obviously, I think, in the military, but just sits in the house in his camo gear. And the other brother seems to be walking around town with his skateboard, can't see out of his hair, and is apparently on a mission to help find a monkey for a weird dude in town.
Yeah. I think that the plot gets a little bit messy once he's added.
See, I liked it because I felt like it was this little parallel story of like the cycle happening again in that little household.
Sure, I guess I didn't pick up on that, but yeah, I see
because
what you're
of
saying.
the uniform and the two brothers and like the dad bailing and the mom kind of being
felt almost Coen-y for a minute with this alternative like
plot. I could see that. I could totally see that. But I liked that, so that what was going on with our main family didn't get too tired.
Sure.
Like it kind of freshened things up a little bit, and then everything wound together. I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, do you have before we give our final thoughts, we should do a high and low.
Yeah.
As above, so below.
You give your as above, so below.
Oh my gosh. See, I didn't write any of this stuff down. I wrote all the other stuff. My high, I think, is just the over-the-top violence is just so dang fun. I feel like that's not the brightest thing I've ever said.
That's okay.
Or the most astute observation, but I think it was just like a really fun movie. And that was why. It's silly, it doesn't take itself seriously, but it visually is quite stunning in its gore. Yep. My below is kind of the third act, which involves more of the Bill adult character, which I didn't really connect with as much as the Hal plot line, but maybe I'm just more of a Hal than I am a Bill.
That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing.
How about you, Kelly?
Yeah, I would say my high point, my as above, was Theo James in general, both appearance, but all jokes aside.
You've awakened to
I mean,
Theo
he's
James.
the gentleman was so great. I really liked that. He was so good in that. But I like that in a similar way, maybe, I don't know, to like Brad Pitt or Skarsgård or... No, Sarsgaard. I always do that.
Is it SARS?
It's Peter Skarsgård. It's Alexander Sarsgaard.
Wait, are they not related?
No.
Oh my God, really?
No.
That's fine. You don't need to look it up. I think you're right.
No, it's Peter Sarsgaard. It's Alexander Skarsgård. They are not related.
No,
I just had the names flipped. Yep. Yeah. So Alexander Skarsgård did the same thing for me, like in my processing of him as like a great actor. And I don't know, even Matthew McConaughey to a degree. Like there are these points where I feel like I stop judging an actor and actress for looking good and get to the point where I'm like, oh, actually they're like really fucking good at acting.
And this was the breakthrough.
This was that for me.
Huh.
And I actually liked the dual characters. I liked the basically insane Bill who, towards the end, there's a very funny, darkly funny line where like it occurs to him for the first time that his twin brother's mother also died. And that was really hard for him too.
Like, you also felt bad when mom died because she was your mom too.
Right. Like he's so much a borderline sociopath that like literally
because we're brothers.
That hadn't even occurred to him.
Yeah.
So I thought he did just a phenomenal job. I don't know. My low would... It's really hard because even the stuff that I didn't like as much, I wouldn't say it was a low. But maybe... Oh, I don't know. Maybe wanting more of Osgood Perkins' character. I feel like there must have been some scenes with the uncle that ended up on the cutting room floor, and it would have been fun to see him do a little bit more. But also, I think the movie was the perfect length, and I wouldn't necessarily want it to be a whole lot longer.
Pretty well paced. Little.
It was really well paced. Yeah.
What would you guess runtime? I'm gonna clear my.
Hour 40, hour 35.
Hour 40 exactly. Great job. Wonderful work. Yeah, brisk, felt really nice. I think structure-wise, it really knocked it out of the park. It's unique. It's referential without being redundant. To a point, I think at the third act, things slow down, get a little weird, and aren't as strong as the first parts of its whole. Performances were wild, small cast, great cameos, just enough Elijah Wood. And I mean, it would have been, the problem with asking for more of the uncle is that he seems like such a character that it could have been a distraction.
Very true. I think you're totally right.
But I mean, still nice to see Osgood in his own film. A little bit like if we're talking about cameos, I think his cameo in this is much better than Josh Rubin's cameo in Hard Eyes, which you still haven't seen. I saw it a couple weeks ago.
No, I do need to see it.
It's a lot of fun. Josh did a great job with that film. I think it's one of the second highest grossing slasher films in some time. So it's doing very well. Congratulations to Josh. But yeah, this is just such a fun movie, and the steady hand streak of Osgood Perkins seemingly continues. And
I can't wait for his next one because everything feels like he just keeps going from great to better. So
yeah, we'll see. Do you know what he's doing next? We'll talk about it in a second. But for all those reasons, I give The Monkey 8.6 fish hooks from the face.
Oh, that was really good.
Callie?
I agree. Yeah, this movie, I did expect it to be good because the trailer looked fun and Byron had already seen it and wasn't ranting about how bad it was. One of Byron's tells at this point is if it seems really bad, he pretty much just will try and redirect to a different movie unless there's a reason that it's bad and worth talking about, you know? So the fact that he wasn't redirecting gave me some hope too. It was a blast. Sam and I went on like a midday date and had my parents pick up the girls from school, and it was like a great way to spend a Tuesday. It was really fun. I give The Monkey 9.2 swallowed vape pens.
Very cool. And those are our thoughts on The Monkey, which you can see in theaters now. Go quickly before it leaves, because we want to support films like this in the theater.
For sure.
Yeah, show up.
Definitely.
And, once you have seen it, let us know what you think. Reach out to us on Blue Sky or X at Frightday, Instagram as well. contact@frightday.com is our email address. Or you could spend some time with us in the Discord, discord.frightday.com. Until Zuckerberg stops wearing those heavy t-shirts and gets rid of that broccoli-headed haircut of his, I don't think that we're going to be hanging out on Facebook much, but who knows?
Also, I just found out that Theo James lives in Venice Beach halftime, which is where my sister lives.
Your sister is, yeah. You cannot leave Sam for Theo
find
James.
Him. I mean, she's like, she sees all of these.
Yeah, they're always out there working out and running around.
Well, yeah, my favorite though is that she gets to see RFK Jr. wearing his jeans and no shirt at the gym all the time,
doing pulls up. He's always
like
doing
literally
pulls up.
at her gym.
I know where he's at.
It's fucking hilarious to me.
I crashed a Lime scooter on the sand in Venice once.
Why'd you do that?
I was goofing around. I guess I shouldn't be allowed to ride those.
No, I don't think you should. I mean, I shouldn't either, so it's not like no judgment.
I was trying to do a wheelie in Austin and knocked myself unconscious and made a fool of myself in front of Doug Benson by accepting a slice of pizza from a stranger on the street.
Why wouldn't you? I would.
That's a good point. But also...
Could be laced with LSD. That'd be quite the experience for either of us.
I slid out in the sands of Venice Beach on a Lime scooter once. I shouldn't be allowed. It looks like we're going to get another Osgood Perkins film this year. That's
yes,
surprising.
we are.
Wow. Keeper, during an anniversary getaway at a remote cabin, a wife is left alone after her husband departs, only to confront, a sinister presence that exposes the cabin's chilling past. I'm going to hold judgment on a cabin horror just because Osgood is involved.
So it also, the main character, my understanding, is the actress who played the mom in this movie.
Oh, that's kind of fun. And interesting, the writer Nick Leopard,
I don't know him.
Not known for much.
Ooh,
2 projects coming out this year. The only projects he's done, Keeper, and then a film called Dangerous Animals, directed by Sean Byrne.
Okay.
And we know Sean Byrne, of course, from The Loved Ones and The Devil's Candy. So
this is cool.
This is cool. It sounds like we've got some up-and-coming talent that I am looking for.
I like this.
Great. This has just been great. I want to talk about movies. Can we talk about movies for a couple weeks while I finish this Mafia thing?
Sure, you do it. I mean, and honestly, at this rate, I might have my Jonestown done. Maybe I need to do that before you do your Mafia, because holy shit.
We'll race on it. How's that sound?
No, I'm good with either. But man, did I tell you that my neighbor did a whole thing on Jonestown, and now I'm going to use her report as one of my sources because she's taking it to...
Is this like a middle school report?
It is. 100. No, but
on.
listen to this, Byron. Listen, this is really fucking cool. She's taking it. She's now made it past like 2 rounds, and she's in a state like history competition.
Sure. For how long? Where's the funding?
For her paper about Jonestown being a CIA
mind control psyop.
Which I unfortunately...
See, that's the kind of stuff that won't get doged is
that
research into government psyops. Yeah.
Sure. Well, let's do it.
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fun. That's nice.
I know.
And I think I'm going to propose it now. This is something I'd like to do more frequently, would be to tell people what we're doing next week. Mickey Keating's film Invader, which... It's a home invasion. Mickey Keating, I believe, co-directed and co-starring Joe Swanberg, disgraced former Mumblecore director.
Okay.
It only got a theatrical release initially 1.5 years ago, and then was not supposed to ever be released on VOD, and now it's out. So I'm thinking we should check it out. It's like 1 hour and 9 minutes long, and it's been a while since we've done a Keating. So that, I believe, is what
the summary is intriguing, at least.
Yeah. So
has my interest piqued.
That's what we'll be doing next week.
Okay, I'm down.
Sounds like a lot of fun to me.
Why the hell not? Remind me what Swanberg did that...
to be in trouble?
Yeah.
I mean... I don't know. He got divorced, and his wife is seemingly a better person than him, and he did a bunch of controversial mumblecore films where there may or may not have been real sex and power dynamics in place, and just kind of uncomfortable projects that in my younger days I found because of, the world as it is.
Well, evolving understanding of things. It's okay to grow.
Yeah, and I'm learning.
Yeah.
But
do we get the sense that he is too, or maybe not?
Nope.
No, we
seems
don't.
Seems to be an anti-vaxxer.
He's doubling down on the...
I'll do some looking into it. But
okay.
Kelly, until next week, stay away from toy monkeys.
I will stay away from Joe Swanberg too. Stay scared.
You've been listening to an Audio Wool original, produced by Byron McKoy. Theme music is provided by Yawns. For more programs like this, visit audiowool.co.